In a world filled with chaos and uncertainty, there are constants that remind us of our humanity. They are the threads that weave the fabric of our society together. Welcome to a journey where community, service, and love intersect to create profound moments of connection. Community. It's the heartbeat of civilization. It's the laughter echoing through the streets, the hands reaching out in times of need, and the bonds that tie us all together. Service. It's the act of giving without expectation, of lifting others up when they are in their darkest moments. From the smallest gestures to the grandest, service is the beacon of hope that illuminates the path towards a better world. And then there's love, a force so powerful it transcends boundaries and defies logic. It's the warmth of a mother's embrace, the unspoken understanding between friends, and the fire that fuels us. Love is what holds us together, the driving force behind our deepest connections. Welcome to the world of Meals on Wheels. This national organization exists in virtually every community in America, and, along with more than 2 million volunteers, delivers the nutritious meals, friendly visits, and safety checks that enable America's seniors to live nourished lives with independence and dignity. In the heart of Berkeley County, West Virginia, a lifeline stretches out to those in need, bringing nourishment, companionship, and hope. They are a silent force at work, a lifeline that connects neighbors and nourishes souls. This is Meals on Wheels, a story of service, support, and strength.
Here at Meals on Wheels, we provide a hot, nutritious meal daily delivered to homebound seniors that rely on our service. They live alone. They are in need of a hot meal delivered. They can't provide for themselves. They don't have transportation. Their mobility is inadequate for them to prepare a meal safely. Every day we know of homebound seniors that are in need of our services, and that's what motivates me to continue the work that we do. 98% of our force are volunteers, so there's only 5 of us that work part-time here at Meals on Wheels. The other 120 folks are volunteers. They're volunteer drivers, they're volunteer packers, kitchen helpers, fundraisers, board members. What runs our program is our community. We are a private, independent nonprofit. We're not affiliated with anyone, so we rely strictly on grants and donations to sustain us, and our community comes and helps us do that. We save lives. Not only do we deliver the hot meal every day that provides the nutrients for our recipients, of which 75% of them say that that is the only meal they get in a day, and without that meal they would go hungry, which is pretty impactful. 75% of our recipients also say that they feel safer in their own home. Why is that? Because our volunteer drivers are dedicated, and if our driver finds an unsafe situation, which happens almost every week, perhaps the senior has fallen that night before and is laying on the floor, and had our Meals on Wheels volunteer not shown up, they would still be laying there. So we've found them on the floor. We found them in unsafe situations, and our drivers take the time to call our office. We have emergency contact information on each one of our recipients, so we can call the family or a neighbor, and that ensures peace of mind for them, knowing that someone's going to be checking on that person. It also helps the recipient know that there's a safe place. They know a human being is going to come to their door once a day and check on them. That's as important, in my opinion, as the meal.
My wife and I delivered Meals on Wheels for a long time, but then she got sick, so we stopped. And I got COVID the second time, and I never even thought about I don't cook. I don't cook, period. I can make breakfast, that's into me. So the second time I got COVID, I was really in bad shape. And one of my nieces said, "Why don't you get Meals on Wheels?" Never crossed my mind. I delivered Meals on Wheels to old people. I said, "Not old people." No, I was 88 years old, but I said, "That's old people." So, and then I called down there. Of course, I knew Diane, and they were very receptive. And and I was happy. And it's just been a love affair all these times. I don't have to agonize or even think about something to eat. It's going to be there, just like clockwork. So yeah, it affects me tremendously. Meals on Wheels is like Cracker Jacks to me. I got a cart, I got a thing up to the porch, I got a cooler, and open that up and go inside. It's like open a box of Cracker Jacks because I don't know what's going to be in there. And then you open that little sack. Sometimes there's a little treat in there, a little odd, just something tiny, and it's just like open a box of Cracker Jacks, and it's always good.
I really wanted to start working here because I saw the impact as a volunteer that getting the meals had on the meal recipients, and I saw how Diane was operating the nonprofit, and I really wanted to learn as much as I could from her and about how she gets so many volunteers in here and how she makes this place as amazing as it is. I think at the end of the day, I think my purpose is to help people and to do whatever I can to make people feel happier and ensure that they have their basic needs met. I've always felt really fortunate in the situation that I grew up in, and I want everybody to have what I had, whether that is access to meals or support and love. And I think everyone deserves that, and I want to pay it forward. When I went out with my driver, the thing that stood out to me the most was just how excited all of the people got when they saw her, because she was so kind and so welcoming, and she took 5 minutes to have a conversation with everybody. One of the ladies that we delivered to actually invited us in her house, and you could tell she didn't even want us to leave. But that was the most special thing to me, was just seeing that relationship that was built and how her kindness impacted their day.
You meet such a variety of people, and we delivered to a lady down there at the VA center. She had no legs, no legs, and she's in that wheelchair up to here, and she was the sweetest person you ever want to meet. We would go in, or my wife, one of the other would go in, and we would open the food for her and set it on her tray for her because she couldn't do it. It's a happy time for a lot of people. Even if you only do just for a minute or 2 minutes, that's all they'll see all day long.
We just recently got survey results from several dozen recipients that this have glowing remarks about how the drivers are their friends. They just love our food. They feel blessed that we have that service for them. So I think just actually hearing from the people we deliver to, they're not just numbers. Last year we delivered to 57,000 meals, over 57,000 meals. Those are numbers, but those are human beings that rely on us, and we are honored to serve them.
Once my husband retired, he found out about Meals on Wheels and decided he wanted to try that. And then my mother passed away, and he got me to come with him he drove and I took the meals to the door. And we did that for several years. And then he suddenly passed away in late April, 4 years ago this year. And I didn't want to do it without him on a route or with someone else. By then, Diane knew us so well, she didn't want to let me go. So she talked me into coming into the office and doing some administrative work, answer phones, fill out paperwork, file things, whatnot. So I did that for a while, and then I tripped and fell. I didn't want to quit, but you got to think about your physical ability to do things. I decided I'd get some meals, and I only get it 3 days a week, but that allows me to give them a donation every month too. It's a great organization, and I miss going in and seeing everybody and just helping out, but it's just not feasible for me to do that anymore.
So this year we started a new initiative. Actually, in 2023, we started a new farm to table initiative where we met, myself and our board president went out to 6 different farmers in West Virginia, met with them at their farms, coordinated how we could partner, and we've been purchasing fresh produce, local produce from West Virginia farmers. We received a grant to purchase it, so it helps the farmer with revenue. It helps us offset our costs, and also it provides this amazing fresh produce, vegetables, and fruits for our recipients. We're always looking to, even after 53 years of serving this community, we're looking to improve it because that's what we want to do. One of the things I'm most proud of is the relationships we have formed over the last decade within the community. Women's groups, church groups, Girl Scout troops, you name it. These relationships are what have built the enormous community support that we receive, and without that, we would not be able to sustain ourselves.
As our journey comes to a close, we're reminded of the simple yet profound impact of Meals on Wheels. It's a reminder that in a world that often feels divided, there's still beauty in coming together to care for one another. Join us in supporting this vital program, and together, let's continue to nourish bodies, uplift spirits, and build stronger communities. This is Meals on Wheels, a story of service, support, and strength.